Hello and welcome back to Music Mitra. This is Bindu Nair here. Today we are going to discuss the importance of attending music concerts, especially for students of Carnatic music. When I ask my students to come for a concert, there is a lot of hesitation from parents as well as students, citing so many reasons. They have exams, they have homework, and then 3 hours sitting in a concert is something they cannot prioritize. So today I thought, let us discuss why in the first place are concerts held. Of course, it is for the rasikas to enjoy, to relax, so to appreciate the music, to enjoy the music, entertainment, etc. But when it comes to a student of music, I'm talking in the context of Carnatic music or any Indian classical music for that matter. The concert opens up the entire world of music to them. What they learn in a 1 hour music class per week is so limited. It's like the point of a needle compared to the entire universe of music out there. So, exposing a child to the entire vastness of Indian classical music will happen when a child is exposed to live music concerts by different artists from a young age. If you look at any of the child performers today, you ask their parents, they will tell you that these kids have been attending concerts right from their toddler stage, and they have imbibed so much music into them that it just flows out. So, first of all, let us understand why are we learning music. Okay, there can be a very superficial reason to learn music because in every South Indian family, the parents want the kids to learn some art form. Okay, go for music class, party class, or go for dance class. So they are exposed to some kind of art form. So that kind of becomes a mandatory process. That's very good. Nothing bad about it. Child should be exposed. But is the exposure the only reason for sending a child to music class? That is my question. As a teacher for the last 20 years teaching kids music, I have seen that 99% of the kids remain as very superficial learners and appreciators of music. Very, very superficial. They just know very basic stuff and they perforce limit themselves to that because they don't see the vision that music is so much beyond what they learn in the music class. And as a teacher, it's a struggle to make the students and especially the parents understand the importance of exposing the children to more music in the form of concerts or even listening to concerts on YouTube. Today, at the tip of a finger, you have the greatest artists come to your living room and sing for you in the form of YouTube videos. What more can we ask for? Even that is not being accessed by 90% of the music students. I can guarantee you that. So the discussion is, there are two types of music students. The first category, as I told you, is just coming for just learning music, sending for some activity. So they just learn some compositional forms. They can sing a few songs at Golu or at some family event. They are able to reproduce what the teacher has taught them. So there is a repertoire that is learned of basic geetams, varnams, kritis and different compositions. The child learns and they are able to just reproduce what the teacher has taught them. But that is not musical knowledge. Musical knowledge will come when a child can appreciate the difference between the notes, the difference between the different ragas, the moods of the different ragas, the styles of the different composers, the types of musical instruments that are merging on a stage and how music is formed on the spot on stage. Many people even cannot believe that in a musical concert of Carnatic music, for example, the artists never rehearse. They are meeting first time on stage, and whatever music you hear is impromptu on the spot, it is created. That means, can you imagine that without any rehearsal? Sometimes they have not even met the other artists. First time you're meeting them on stage, and how the entire output of music comes so synchronized and professional. How does that happen? That is because the artists themselves have put in rigorous amount of training. Everyone trains in a certain repertoire of ragas and talas. So once you're ready to go on stage, you are perforce meant to know the basic ragas and the talas, etc. of. And from a young age, they would have seen so many concerts and imbibed the kind of chemistry that is happening on stage, seen it live, how the violin responds to the vocalist, how the mridangam and the ghatam interact during taniyavartanam. All this is, you cannot teach it in a classroom. This has to be experienced and learned, and over the years, as and when they do, the second category of music students evolve, who graduate from this basic level of just singing certain kritis and compositions, and they graduate into exploring manodharma, the intangible aspects of music like manodharma, the alapana, neraval, swaraprasthar. All these are something that cannot be taught. It is something that a teacher can only guide you, but the student kind of assimilates it from the guidance of the teacher, plus very important, listening to the great artists, hearing a raga alapana from 10 different singers, learning 5-6 kritis in that raga, and hearing those kritis being presented by different artists in their own way. That gives so much of ideas, so much of, and that music kind of goes below the skin. Otherwise, music will remain skin deep, and there is no depth in whatever knowledge that we have acquired. So this is a quick discussion on the importance of attending Carnatic concerts for students of Carnatic music, and a message to parents: please make sure that you don't be the reason that the kid is not attending the concert. Give it priority. I'm sure if we want to go to a mall, spend an entire evening in a mall, do you give the same reason that 3 hours the child cannot spare because of the exams or the homework? In that case, the mall should be empty, but it is not that, right? You go to a theater. How many children are sitting in the theater for 3 hours of a movie? But that same child, when it comes to attending a music concert, has 100 reasons not to do so. So where is the problem? The problem lies in the underlying reason why are you learning music. So if you're learning music to be a very superficial learner, just to parrot out some songs whenever required in social situations or for a Navaratri, if that is your motive, then yes, then these things are not mandatory for you. But if you want to graduate above and become a musician who understands music, who can express himself or herself through music, who can be a source of entertainment or joy to others listening to his or her music, and you want to step ahead into the manodharma aspects, you want to step into the expressional manodharma aspects of music, then only if you have been regularly attending concerts, learning from the concerts, and expanding your horizons of classical music, only then will you step into that level of learning. So I might be a little harsh here because this is the fact, sometimes truth is bitter, we say. So this is something that I wanted to discuss as a topic, especially to parents of children who are going to music class. Just the if you don't believe me, just go to any classical music concert and see who's sitting in the audience. You will see all gray haired people, senior citizens, 90%, maybe 10% youngsters who are serious students of music, and a child at below 10, maybe one or two. But is this what is going to help in exposing our children to our tradition, our culture? So let us think about it and let me know in the comments below what you feel about this topic. And if you are a parent of a child learning classical music, how would you consider this idea of mine that a child should be exposed to the art form right from a young age? And I hope after thinking about this topic, you will let me know in the comments and also take a positive decision for future concerts. So whenever there's a concert nearby, let's all try and attend. Especially take our kids there and make sure that they are getting the right exposure to music. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon with another video. Bye.